Hello, Scamp the Wolf here, and today we're going to be looking at my Linkin Park CD collection, plus a few other Linkin Park related things, albums that I have in my collection. Now, I'm doing this today because today is the fourth anniversary of Chester Bennington's death. May he rest in peace. He was a good frontman, and he was a part of one of the bands that helped me get into rock and metal music as a whole. Linkin Park, of course, anybody any person in the world that gets into rock gets is most likely going to get into it through Linkin Park. So, yeah. But we're going to take a look at the Linkin Park albums that I do have. Now, I'm counting. There's 14 Linkin Park album CDs that I have. I am missing one. I'm missing the Road to Revolution live album. I'll probably get that soon, but for now, this is all that I have. And there's three others in here that are Linkin Park related that I have in here. So, yeah, let's get into it. Of course, their debut needs no introduction, needs no like setup or like anything like that. It's Hybrid Theory, of course, one of the best-selling albums in U.S. history. And it's not my favorite Linkin Park album, but it's had a profound impact on new metal and rock and metal as a whole. Here, some stuff is kind of overrated, like Crawling and Runaway, I think personally. But there's other great songs: Paper Cut, One Step Closer, A Place for My Head, um, Pushing Me Away, and of course, In the End is an undeniable one. And of course, we have what the disc and stuff looks like. Nice red disc. Very good. I like that they went for a red disc for this. It matches the artwork and stuff very well. This album is very groundbreaking for its time. Because new metal was still being was still at its high, and then Linkin Park kind of just like changed the game, and now there you see a lot of these bands being influenced by them and all this stuff. So, yes, Hybrid Theory. This album, what I think it's I think it's the only new metal album to go diamond, if not one of the only ones. I'm not sure. I'd have to look up. I have to look it up, but yeah, and it definitely deserved it because Linkin Park is great. Is a great band. So that's Hybrid Theory. Now, next up, we have their remix album that was released 2 years later. This is Reanimation, and the digipack that I have here is not in the best of condition. That's because I got this at a used store, and as you can tell, look at that. There's some wear and tear. This was an older copy. I got this right after Chester died because I didn't have this yet at the time. And now I'm definitely glad I have it because the remixes, there's a lot of remixes on here from like the guy from Taproot is on here. Let me look at it. Okay, Stephen Richards of Taproot. That's who that is. Josh Abraham, who is the producer. Aaron Lewis, of course, from Stained. Jonathan Davis, of course, from Korn. I have pretty much a lot of Korn albums too, so whatever. And there's others. Jake Gordon, who is of the band Orgy, I think. I don't have any of their albums. I'm not really huge on them necessarily, but whatever. But yeah, there's even stuff that weren't songs that weren't on like the regular edition of Hybrid Theory, like High Voltage and My December. And I think I have My December somewhere. I don't know. So this is what it looks like when you pull it out like this. Nice artwork, same kind of like Soldier you see in Hybrid Theory album cover and stuff like that. Nice, and then this robot that's on the cover. That's kind of interesting though. So Reanimation by Linkin Park, their first remix album, and probably their best. Next up, we have another album that's undeniable. This was actually the first Linkin Park album that I got. Not CD, album. Meteora. Definitely one of the best albums of all time, and definitely their best work, in my opinion. Look at this. So many. This whole album is just so good. Like the playback, like the track listing, like is so fluent. Like you have Don't Stay, Somewhere I Belong, and then going down from other tracks like Hit the Floor and Easier to Run, Faint, Figure 09, Breaking the Habit. Pretty much every song on here. Like, yeah, there's some overratedness in like Faint and Numb, but like those two songs are definitely better than Crawling and Runaway, I think. Blank from You is also pretty good as well. And Forward Session, Forward in Session, the instrumental cut. Forward is like the intro, like 11 seconds of an intro, basically. And then Nobody's Listening, which is like this rap-ish song. That's pretty good. That's definitely good. Like, definitely. So let's take a look at that. And I'm pretty sure everybody who's owned Meteora has seen this before, but I'm just showing it in this thing. So yeah, that's it. Now, I have the stickers on here. This came with stickers on the plastic wrap. Yeah, I just put them on. I used to do that with a lot of CDs. I don't as much anymore. I just, whenever I get a sticker on promotes like, okay, this has this song, features this song or whatever, I put it like in a notebook or something. Like I like to collect those. I peel them off and like put them somewhere, or where they won't like be forgotten about or thrown away. So, but I used to put them on the jewel case and the digipack even, so just so they could actually be there forever. So yeah, that's pretty much Linkin Park Meteora for like. And I like that they used the Breaking the Habit artwork from the video, like for this sticker, and it includes those songs, and it has the booklet, and it has the enhanced CD and all that stuff. Yard of Meteora. I do want to get that DVD though. That's another Linkin Park thing that I don't have. The Art of Me, that was on deluxe copies, I think, of Meteora. So enough talking about Meteora. It's great. Go pick it up. Next up, we have Live in Texas. This is their first live album, and it's definitely, I got this in 2018 because I didn't have this. It has a DVD and it has all kinds of cool stuff in it. Like, if I didn't show the back here, that's what the back looks like. Now, CD and DVD itself, that's the CD portion. That's the DVD contains more live songs than the CD does. And I think the booklet is under here somewhere. I'll get the booklet out, because this did come with a booklet. Right here. You turn around and you get that. So yeah. Try to get this back in. Sorry if this looks awkward. And also this flap right here. It's an essential live album. If you want to get into Linkin Park, definitely seek this album out. This is because this has songs from their first two albums, obviously, 2003. And so, Linkin Park Live in Texas. Next up is the first Linkin Park themed anything that I got, and I don't think, and this does not, and I don't have the disc to this. It's somewhere in my room, but this Breaking the Habit single, which is like a DVD and CD combination, like I got this because I wasn't permitted to buy a CD or a CD or anything like that day, and so I ended up with this, which it looks like a DVD, like a slim case DVD, but it's actually a CD DVD single. So what the back looks like. It's basically the music video artwork and the artwork that was featured on the sticker. This shot of, I think it's Chester Bennington's face at the end of the video. I think. I don't know. I haven't seen the Breaking the Habit video in a while, but I know it's pretty cool. It's animated and all that stuff. That's the inside of it right there. And I don't have the discs with me at this moment right now. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now and I don't have the discs in here. I'll find them someday, but for now, this is the Breaking the Habit single. Next up, I got this yesterday because I've been meaning to get this and I never got it. This is the Collision Course EP they did with Jay-Z, a rapper. And like I said, I'm not a fan of rap, but anything Linkin Park is good. And I like to diversify a little bit, you know. Definitely good. It has remixes of Line From You, Paper Cut, Faint, Encore, not Encore, Numb, In the End, and Points of Authority, and One Step Closer. And songs like 99 Problems and Dirt Off Your Shoulder from Jay-Z. Those are some of his songs. I've heard some of those, and they're fine. That's it. And the DVD and stuff is in the DVD's in the sleeve, and the CD is in the jewel part, and the booklet's in here. Now the DVD, I'm just going to do this time. That's what the DVD looks like. And then this is the booklet itself. Definitely recommend it if you're a rap and rock fan. Jay-Z and Linkin Park, Collision Course. I don't think I'll ever get Jay-Z albums because I'm not a rap fan, but this is definitely worth the purchase. Next up, we have one of their more controversial albums, personally, and this is Minutes to Midnight. Also has another big booklet. It's 20 pages, not 40 pages like the last one, but, well, this is one of my least favorite Linkin Park albums. It's like number 5, either number 5 or number 4 for me, which is still in the middle, but like there's some. I just don't come back to this as much as some of the other ones in their collection. That's the back and stuff. You have Leave Out All the Rest and Bleed It Out What I've Done. No More Sorrow and In Pieces. Those songs are pretty. In Pieces and Leave Out All the Rest and What I've Done. Those are good songs. Giving Up is okay. The others, whatever. Like it's the production isn't amazing or anything in some of the heavier songs, like on the here. So, yeah, whatever. But anyway, let's take a look at the disc. It's like they wrote 100 songs for this album and dwindled it down to like 12. I learned that from it's in the booklet, but I know on one of Rock Review's streams where he was like the tier list of Linkin Park that he did with ARTV. He said that. So that's how I know about that. But like this is one of their more mediocre albums. It's not completely mediocre. There's good stuff, but it's not one of their best either. And it's not because, they went soft, which I don't have a problem with that at all. If a band wants to do whatever they want, that's fine. But, Minutes to Midnight has never been isn't one of my favorites. So that's Minutes to Midnight by Linkin Park. It's still fine, but it's still good enough for what it is, but like, whatever. Now we get an interesting thing. I got this at Best Buy back in 2011. I saw this there. I was like, oh yeah. This is the songs from the Underground. If you don't know, Linkin Park always had underground like releases. Like if you went to Best Buy back in the day, you saw a ton of these like box set things that had like shirts and stuff and picks and whatever. And this is a compilation of some songs that appeared on those. It's only 8 tracks long, so an official collection of favorites released through the Linkin Park fan club. Yeah, that's their fan club, LP Underground. Definitely. I've never been a part of the LP fan base, or not the fan club, but this is still an interest. This is still good enough. Even has a cover that of Hunger Strike, which had Chris Cornell. Ironically, Chris Cornell's birthday is also today, and that's the day Chester Bennington took his life. Some people think that he got murdered, but I don't believe that whatsoever because that's not the evidence. But that's beside the point. The point is, the Hunger Strike is actually good. Chris Cornell is definitely good. Sold My Soul of Your Mama, QWERTY, which is interesting. That's an announcement service public. That's part of me, and My December's on this as a live version. So I didn't show everything. I don't think I showed the disc yet. And this next CD I have here is one of those that was through the fan club, because more on that later after I show everything here. That's songs from the underground. Definitely glad I own this. Definitely a collector's item now. Now, like I just said, this is some weird thing that I got from one of the Linkin Park. I found this at Second Spin back when Second Spin was open in 2017, and this was a CD that came with the box set that I got. This is some weird thing. Cookies, Sweet Hamster, like Rules from America. This is some weird thing that they did, some underground thing that they did. Like you could see Chester and Mike Shinoda on the album cover. It's kind of weird. Some weird imagery going on in there. And this is like one of those slipcover CDs. So, wow, disc almost fell out. That's the problem with these sleeve digipacks. They're not very useful whatsoever. But yeah, this is good for a collector's item or something. Weird tracks, Bubbles, No Laundry, PB and Jellyfish. 26 letters in the alphabet. I think this is like some fictional band or something that that they came up with or something. I remember hearing about that or somewhere. I think it was on the box, which I have the box that came with this, but it's somewhere else, and I have all the other stuff that came with it too. There's some headphone clip or something. Of course, picks. I think there was a patch or something, and of course the shirt. But whatever. I got this after Chester died, of course, because I was on the hunt for Linkin Park stuff that I didn't have, because I kind of felt bad that I didn't have them before he died, so I wanted to just go ahead and get them, and that's what I've kind of been doing since then. Although my CD collecting thing has kind of been sparse, given how many CDs I have and how many bands I have to keep track of. So that's Cookies. Whatever this is. I've never heard this, so whatever. I just thought I would let you know that existed. All right, next up, another controversial one here. 1,000 Suns. And unpopular opinion, this is actually one of my favorite Linkin Park albums. I know that's weird, but I love concept works and stuff, and I know people were complaining back in the day that it's electronic, it's all electronic. Sounds nothing like Hybrid Theory or Meteora, but I mean, they aged well enough to where they could do this well, I think. And I know it's kind of disjointed in a way, all the instrumental or the interlude tracks and stuff, but those I actually don't mind as much. That's the disc and stuff. Very solid artwork. It's very abstract and and this is probably their most political and stuff. When They Come For Me is fine. Waiting for the End and The Catalyst were singles. Riches and Kings is a killer track, I think. And the Requiem and the Radiance are probably the two best instrumental or the interlude tracks because they set up everything so well, I think. Empty Spaces is probably the worst. It's just crickets. And I am not a fan of hearing crickets. I don't know how relevant that is to this stream, but whatever. But Iridescent and The Messenger, those are good songs. And I don't mind the instrumentals very much. I don't mind that at all. This is a very unique, like, cinematic experience, I think. And that's what I really would take this as, would take this album as. Not as a Linkin Park album that's supposed to be like Hybrid Theory, but like an album, like a very different, unlike anything they've ever done before kind of thing. And it's good that they did this for themselves, and kudos to them. So it's definitely one of their best, maybe my either third or second favorite from them. I know it's unpopular, but I do recommend you give A Thousand Suns another chance because I love it. Next up, we have Living Things. This is their fifth album, and I heard it was more like electronic rock from some people, but like this is one of those Linkin Park albums that honestly, after years have gone by, I haven't been stuck to it as much as like Hybrid Theory or Meteora or even A Thousand Suns. It's just kind of there, Like, real quickly, let's show everything before I talk about some standout moments. Burn It Down, of course. Roads Untraveled, pretty good. Skin to Bone, maybe? I don't know. Lost Me Echo and In My Remains and Lies Greed Misery, rather. I just don't remember this much. In Castle of Glass, maybe, but I just don't remember much from this album. It doesn't stick with you. It's kind of just there compared to other Linkin Park albums and even albums like Minutes to Midnight. Like, honest, because there's stuff you remember on here. I just named off a couple songs, but there's more stuff on Minutes to Midnight that I would gravitate towards, and the standouts on that album were just better than on this album. This is probably my second to least favorite album. You know what my least favorite album will be when we get to it, but this is Living Things, and it's fine for what it is, but it's just not one of my favorite Linkin Park albums, I'm sorry to say. Next up, we have, this was another recent one that I got. Basically did another reanimation in the form of this, Recharged, which features a new song, A Light That Never Comes, featuring Steve Aoki, which has been a part of Linkin Park before. He's been involved with them in some way. I think he helped out on A Thousand Suns. I'm not sure. But basically, they remixed some songs on here on Living Things and reinterpretations of tracks from Living Things by all these people. Rick Rubin. And there's rappers on here, Pusha T. Like, I know Pusha T, but I'm not Bun B, Ryu, Cody B, Where, I don't know. I'm not familiar with those. I am familiar with Pusha T. And this is what the inside of it looks like. So yeah, Linkin Park, Recharged. It's not as good as I haven't heard this. I've barely even heard this before, but it's not nearly as good as Reanimation, not Reincarnation. So yeah, it doesn't. From what I've heard, it doesn't follow it doesn't feel like it's interconnected. The tracks on here, And they even repeat some tracks, like Until It Breaks is remixed twice on here. So that's this is probably out of the two remix albums, this is probably the weak link. Next up, we have The Hunting Party. This saw a more heavy side of the band, and a lot of people were excited about that. And I am too, because I do think it is a good album for what it. Definitely a good album. I've never had any qualms or problems with this before. Paige Hamilton of Helmet helps out on the track All for Nothing. Rapper Rakim on Guilty All the Same. Darren Malakian from System of a Down, if I'm pronouncing his name right, on Rebellion. And Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine on Drawbar. And I don't remember as much on here, but like I do remember songs like Wasteland, Guilty All the Same, All for Nothing, Keys to the Kingdom, and especially Final Masquerade. That's actually my favorite song on here, Final Masquerade. I like that one a lot. And A Line in the Sand ends the album well. I haven't heard it. I don't usually go to this album for Linkin Park, but for what it is, it's definitely recommendable if you're a fan. If you're a new fan and you want to check this out, definitely do it. So, The Hunting Party by Linkin Park. And I also forgot to show the disc and what it looks like. That's the disc. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, The Hunting Party by Linkin Park. Definitely recommendable if you haven't given it a go already. Now we get to iffy territory. And it's probably the worst album. One More Light. And it's pretty common to hear people who say that One More Light is their worst. And yeah. And it's a shame too, because Chester Bennington, this was like released 2 months before his death. Like, and I just wish it were better than this, but it's not. It's just generic. The only 2 songs that like I can kind of like a little bit are there's one really good song though, the title track, One More Light, and then I can stomach Invisible because it has a good rhythm and stuff. Maybe Heavy, maybe Battle Symphony, maybe sorta, kinda, but the rest, no. Ugh. Sorry for Now. Oh man, that's not good. Sharp Edges, Good Goodbye, which has Pusha T from on it. It's just not great. Sorry for Now is probably Linkin Park's worst song in my opinion. It's a shame too because it has a personal message, but I just don't care. And that's what it looks like. I mean, it has good artwork and everything like that. I mean, the lyrical content, because is good on some tracks. It's pretty. It looks pretty. The album, like I said, the artwork on the album looks pretty, but it's just their worst album. I agree with a lot of people who say it is. I mean, I know I tried to like it when it came out because it was new Linkin Park, but I gotta be honest. This is their worst. This is easily their worst album. It didn't have to be, so yeah. One More Light by Linkin Park. And I have the live album that was released months later. One More Light Live. And it has some songs from One More Light on it being played live. And it has some of their big hits and other songs as well on it. And it's pretty solid. It's a pretty solid way to like commemorate the life of Chester Bennington. This was released like in December. One More Light Live. And that image you saw a lot when Chester Bennington passed away. It was like, like they had their lights out, and I think he was performing One More Light when this picture was shot. I'm not sure. But like you have some okay you have some other good songs on here. They're really good songs on here, like New Divide, which was from the Transformers soundtrack. I forgot to say, I have two Transformers soundtracks in my compilations, and I didn't want to bring them out because they have other artists on them and stuff. Of course, they're soundtracks, but Linkin Park was heavily involved in Transformers. What I've Done and Iridescent, I believe, were on Transformers soundtracks, and you have some stuff from Meteor and Vibratory Theory in here, but it's kind of just one more light and stuff. So I mean that's fine, but like it's still very good, and it even has a little like thing about Chester Bennington on here. You see him like reading a fan or whatever, and a little message about how good he was, and I agree, Chester Bennington was a pretty good person, and I would have liked to meet him as well. So yeah, that's the disc and the back of this book of the booklet. That's the last Linkin Park release for now. I heard they might actually be releasing new music soon, or at some point. Like they're thinking about it, like without Chester. But I mean, like we'll have to see what happens. Of course, I mean, it could or could not happen, but whatever. Next up, I just accidentally spoiled it. We have a Chester Bennington side project. Of course, you probably already know what it is. Dead by Sunrise. I almost said Dead by April for some reason. Out of Ashes. Now, this is kind of more of a hard rock, so people who probably liked didn't like Minutes to Midnight very much probably would have liked Dead by Sunrise because it's more hard rock. It's a Howard Benson project, so of course there's Howard Benson stuff. It sounds like one of his projects. Like there's some good songs on here. Crawl Back In, Too Late, which was the song I keep coming back to on this album. Into You, My Suffering, End of the World, Walking in Circles, and the closing track, In the Darkness. And the opening track, Fire, is also pretty good on here. This is a cool side project. It features members of Julian K. I don't know much about that band. And here's Chester Bennington on, and like the disc artwork. I like the art, the color choices on. I don't know. I like red, black, and white for some reason. I'm kind of weird that way. So that's Dead by Sunrise. I got this used. Oddly enough, I got this before Chester Bennington died because I have been wanting it for a while. And then in like 2016, 2017, I finally got it. And there's like a barcode, like there's like a little like I don't know, like they saw through the album artwork, which whatever. Dead by Sunrise, Out of Ashes. Next up is the album that Mike Shinoda released after Chester Bennington's death. It's kind of like a rap album, kind of, sort of, post-traumatic. And it's pretty good as well. He did this as kind of, this is like catharsis for him because, like, you know, that's the back. And I'm going to talk about some tracks I like on here. I'm going to show everything. And here's a message on here as well. Mike Shinoda did some other stuff during the pandemic and stuff like that, but like this was the one album that he did on CD. So there's some good songs on here. Over Again, Brooding, that's an instrumental track. Make It Up As I Go, which has K-Flay, which I'm not as familiar with. I know she's an alternative artist. But then Liftoff is probably the best because, one, Deftones, Chino Moreno was on here, and Machine Gun Kelly, which people don't really like as much, but whatever. And Grandson and Black Bear also have features, which I'm not familiar with them. So, and for a rap album, this is pretty good stuff. You know, it has some kind of like a rock alternative feel, somewhat, but it's rap mostly. Like, because Mike Shinoda is the rapper in Linkin Park for all, and he's a good he has a good flow and everything like that. Songs like Over Again are good. Like I said, Promises I Can't Keep, World's on Fire, you know. So yeah, Post Traumatic by Mike Shinoda. And finally, we have, if you didn't know, Chester Bennington was in a band called Grey Days before he started Linkin Park. And they released an album in the 1990s, but it's out of print now. And then the Grey Days formed again in 2020 to release this album, Amends. And it's basically like re-recorded, or like re-recordings, I'll say re-recordings, is of songs that were on those albums or that album, whatever Grey Days made back in 95 or whatever. And it's a good like book kind of CD. So yeah, there's definitely some good stuff on here. Definitely Sickness, that's a good song. Sometimes is good. What's in the Eye is good. More Sky, whatever. She Shines. In Time, maybe. Chester Bennington, Sean Dowdle, Mace Byers, Kristen Davis. Those are the members of the band. Of course, everyone knows Chester Bennington. And it has pictures of Chester Bennington on it. Like, there's that one of him. And this, surprisingly enough, this art layout is also pretty good as well. And I'm just looking at the credits here real quick before I show you the disc. There's co-writes from Brian Head Welch, who did the guitars, James Schaffer, Jason Rauch even, Marcus Curiel, Paige Hamilton, Ryan Shuck. And there's tons of other people here. Jane Bennington, who I think it's Chester Bennington's son, Jane, whatever. Chris Trainer, I don't know who he is. I think I might know, but I don't know. And the album was actually produced by Jay Baumgartner, who was. Hold on a second. I'm trying to make sure. Yeah, it was mixed by him, not produced. It was produced by Grey Days and Billy Bush. And it was mixed by Jane Baumgartner, who did a lot of new metal albums back in the day. Working with Papa Roach and stuff like that. I'm trying to get the disc out real quick. And it's basically that. The rose that's on the album cover. So that's Grey Days, Amends. Oh. This was trying to escape. Grey Days with Amends, and that's it for this collection video. What do you think of Linkin Park? Do you like Linkin Park or not? Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. I'm Scamp the Wolf, and I'm signing out. Take care.